What's up, everybody? Welcome to Skate Date.
Hello, we're back.
I feel like it's been a really long time. Oh, it's because it's been 2 weeks technically since we recorded an episode of Skate Date.
Mm-hmm.
But we still had a Skate Date episode come out last week because we were, what's that? Prepared. We thought ahead.
Oh, Lord. It is finally winter. It is freezing in the garage.
Yeah, did you miss us complaining about how cold it is? Because it's really cold in here.
Like, it took so long just setting up the camera the right way that in that amount of time, I'm like, okay, now my chest, my nose, and my cheeks are frozen.
I feel like we're staying in some, like, winter cabin.
And if you hear the humming of a heater, like a little space heater, you're just going to have to deal with it because,
Yeah. Bowie needs the heater, and so does Shov's feet. Anyways, this is Skate Date. I am Rebel.
I'm Shove.
And together we are Shovel.
Can you dig it?
Yes. Can you dig it?
Oh my gosh. That was so hot. Can you dig it? Anyhow, I have new hair. Got my hair done at a new Long Beach salon called Black Sheep. And I love it. It's still like super shrinkage. So I'm like, but I love the color.
Yeah, if you are watching or listening on the podcast, like on just sound instead of watching on the YouTube, Shove has hot pink hair, and she got a little haircut, a little shaping.
Curls are popping.
And it's bright AF. But for some reason on the video, it looks red, but it's not red. It's hot pink. But remember that one time that I wore that hot pink jacket? It also looked like I was wearing a red jacket.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Maybe we're colorblind. I don't know.
Now, maybe the camera is colorblind.
How have you been, babe?
I've been good. I've been pretty stressed and overwhelmed, but we are pushing through, and I'm finally starting to feel like maybe it's going to ease up soon, maybe. I don't know.
If
We'll
I
see.
know you, which I think I do, I hope I do, it will not be easing up anytime soon.
Well, that's rude.
You always just add. You're like, oh, now I have free time. Let me pick up a new project or another job.
Well, no, I mean, like, I just want to be at my regular level of stress. I don't want to be at super amounts of stress.
But now that, like, super amounts of stress is, like, your new norm, it's going to feel like you don't have enough on your plate.
No, but it's my new norm, but I hate it. And I've never been in a spot where I was just like, I literally hate the amount of things that I'm doing. Like, it's making me crazy and I'm feeling super, super, super overwhelmed. I don't think I've ever gotten to that point before. So I feel like it's actually like a big deal this time.
That's
Anyways, yeah, enough about that. We don't need to talk about that. So today we are going to talk about alternative people at work, aka colored hair and tattoos in the workplace. And we're also going to talk about Shev's trip to Miami.
Woohoo!
I'm excited. Did anything else happen that was exciting for you this last week, babe?
No.
I watched a movie that made me cry really hard. And I also watched a movie that made me laugh and feel so loving and happy. It's my new favorite gay movie. My new favorite gay Christmas movie, not my new favorite gay movie. It takes more than just one Christmas movie to turn my favorite movie. Yeah, anyways. Do you know what it is, babe?
Single All the Way. It's
Yes.
the movie that I was like, hey, there's a gay movie that I know you like.
No, she
It
didn't
has
even
everything.
say that. She just
I was
said,
like,
you'll like this movie.
I said it was a gay Christmas movie, and you were like, I'm in. I need to
Yes.
know no more.
Yeah.
You didn't even want to see the trailer. And as
No.
soon as they said, I'm a FOMO sexual, she was like, yep, new favorite movie.
I'm a FOMO-sexual. Are you being a FOMO-sexual? Yes. So good. It's because I relate to it.
And then I made her watch Stepmom for the first time.
Which broke my freaking heart. It was so sad. I ugly cried.
It's fine.
Yeah, it was crazy. Anyways, before we jump on in, we have a Zaddy Dad, an ad for the Zaddies. That's all of you. All of you are zaddies.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so something you may or may not know about me from having watched videos or seen me on the internet or heard me talking on this podcast is that I absolutely do not like working out. I have no interest in trying to make my body work out because I don't like it. But there is one thing that I hate more than any other part of working out, and it is, do you know what it is?
Planks.
Yes, it is planks. I detest. I have the strongest feelings of hatred towards planking, and I feel like no matter where I go or what I do, every workout has planks in it. Isn't that the worst, babe?
Yes.
So, like, there comes a certain point when you are skating where, like, if you want to level up anymore, you literally have to work on your core. Like, you just have to.
Yeah, it's like a core. What is it? Who is she? We don't know her.
Yeah.
But I want to know her so I can learn that trick.
Yeah, you have to get acquainted in order to, like, land tricks or, like, do the next level of whatever it is you're trying to do. So, like, the biggest thing that people do when they're talking about their core is they do planks, and I freaking hate that. So I've just avoided trying to get a core. But then I found this magical teacher, and her name is
Kid Ace.
Kid Ace. Kid Ace teaches yoga for skaters and is just a general all-around badass. And she is releasing today. You heard it here first, folks. Today, she is releasing a plankless core workout.
Plankless.
And it's plankless, but it is a core workout. It helps you to build your core. It's specifically for skaters, and it's 3, like, about 15-ish minute little workouts that is supposed to train you in strengthening your core. And me and Chev did it. And
Whew.
I feel strengthened, and I also feel like I should probably do it again and not just give up at certain points and stare at Kid Ace and think, wow, you're so talented. But I know that if I kept doing it, I would actually get better and then be able to, like, fully do it. But so Kid Ace creates these workout videos for skaters, and she is an incredible skater.
So strong.
So strong. Like, literally
At first,
watching the videos.
I couldn't even pay attention to, like, the video because I was just like, whoa, why is she built like a freaking ballerina? Like, the thigh muscles alone. I was just like, am I going to have thighs like that at the end of this? I
literally was also thinking that. I was thinking, oh my gosh, they have
most powerful
so much muscles.
Skater. Like, what? Superhero body.
And you can tell it when she skates. Like, if you watch her skate, you're like, oh, of course she has a core. And, like, she teaches yoga and she teaches all this other stuff. So I like that she makes working out accessible to people who aren't, like, crazy into working out. Like, I wouldn't feel intimidated to do another video with her or to repeat the video that we did the other day because I felt like, you know, I don't know. I just felt like
she was really calming.
She was nice.
Like, it just felt like your friend was just like, come on, let's just do this for fun. And you're like, okay.
Which was really great. So we definitely recommend that you get the plankless core workout from Kid Ace. And that if you're in the area where she is holding a workshop that's like yoga for skaters, or if you want to watch videos that she has that are yoga for skaters, we highly recommend that you go and you do that, because seriously, investing in a person that is also a skater so they understand how your body works and also is not like some, no offense to the gym bros out there, but some gym bro that is just kind of like, let's get this many reps in for, you know, whatever external motivation, when someone can talk to you and be like, oh, you want to learn how to Barani? Like, you're going to need to do like this, this, and this. Or like, oh, you want to be able to strengthen yourself for these tricks and enhance your core? You need to do these things. And they're going to equate to the things that you do as a skater. Like, I just think that that's so worth the money, you know?
Very worth the money.
Anyway, so support Kid Ace and do a plankless core workout and let us know how it goes, because my core still hurts.
And how?
All right. Should we jump into the real world?
Let's go. Welcome to the real world.
The real world, where we talk about things that happen outside of roller skating and in the real world.
All right, so we're going to talk about what it's like to have colored hair, tattoos, maybe both of them, maybe one of them, in the workplace.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've had tattoos and colored hair in the workplace for the entirety of my work existence, for the most part. What about you?
Did you have colored hair, though? When did you start coloring your hair for work and work at the same time?
Oh, yeah, you're
Exactly.
right. You're right. You're right. You're right.
You didn't start having fun colors till we started dating.
Yeah, that's right.
And your tattoos were very easy to hide.
They were very easy to hide.
You just recently took the, like, let my freak flag fly.
I just recently took the fuck it route.
Yeah, like now you have a hand tattoo.
Yeah, fuck it, right?
You shaved your head after graduation, but then you were like, I'm going to wear a wig to feel more professional.
No, it wasn't about feeling professional. It was about feeling ugly.
It's feeling professional to try to get a full-time job.
Oh, like during interviews, yeah.
Exactly. Which goes under what we're talking about is like there's this pressure that like when you look to alternative that people won't think that you're professional or educated, that they basically just think you don't have your shit together and you're going to be like this rebel without a cause.
Instead of a rebel with a cause to enhance the effectiveness and productivity of their company.
No, it's just like right away you have this like judgment on you when you're marked like that. It's just like, oh, you have too much fun. And it's just so crazy, especially in this day of age. I feel like people are getting more, like companies are getting more lenient about it. But still, there's a lot of like dress codes where it's just like, that's a major no-no.
It just seems weird because it's like, why? Like what? Who is it interrupting?
Exactly.
Like what work process is being halted because my hair is green?
Yeah, like I get it. I guess like I don't get it, but like I kind of be like, okay, maybe when it's like you deal with customers head on, because it's like companies are like, I think it's cool, I don't care, but we know our customers are judgy McJudgersons, so they're like, oh, we don't want them to not come because they think it's a bunch of hooligans working here, so we'll just make it so you can't express yourself.
Yeah, I mean, so I worked for a job. I'm not going to drop the name of this job, but I worked for a job where I was not allowed to look in any way, shape, or form alternative because I had to fit a certain stereotype that people who were hiring me thought of. So I had to take out my nose rings for every time I worked. I had to wear a wig when my hair was a different color. I had to cover up all my tattoos. Like I wasn't allowed to wear multiple rings, which I also think is kind of a weird thing. Like, why do you care? Like my jewelry, like why do you care about my jewelry? I don't know. It's just like weird, but I was working with like rich clientele, so maybe that was it, but I don't know.
Remember when they had like an alternative company though? It was like a sex toy company, and they're like, be alternative, they'll love it.
Yeah, they were so excited. They were the first person I called. I was the first person they called. They were like, oh my gosh, this is right up your alley. Just be yourself. And I was like already so jaded about the experience and like how I'd been treated. Like I don't think that my boss, I really, really like my boss. So it didn't have anything to do with them. It was just more or less like I felt like I was being muted while I was at that company. Like, I felt like I couldn't really express myself. And that was very frustrating to me. Like, why are you putting me in a box for this job? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah. Coffee Bean tried to do that. I'm going to say it straight up. Coffee Bean Tea Leaf, sue me. I don't care. How many lawsuits have you had?
Oh, I wasn't talking about a lawsuit. I do respect the person.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying separate to that fact. When I worked at Coffee Bean, at first it was very like, you could have colored hair and it was okay because you had to wear a hat. Tattoos were okay, but you couldn't have like hand tattoos, neck tattoos, face tattoos. It was like very limited on like how many they were. And then over the years, they loosened it up a bit. But I remember, like, right before them even, like, changing it to being, like, any tattoos pretty much go as long as it's, like, not profanity or nudity and stuff. And you could have colorful hair, too, and wear a hat. But, like, when it was time for my interview to become a store manager, my regional manager was, like, my district manager came over to me, and she was, like, okay, honey, like, I just need, she used to always call everyone honey. She's like, okay, honey, like, I just need you to, like, tone it down a bit. Like, my hair was blue at the time, I believe. And she was like, not so crazy. And it was, like, natural. So it was, like, low-key, like, she was a little Asian lady, lesbian lady, and she was being low-key kind of racist, too. And she was like, your hair's just big and all over the place. Like, it needs to be a little more neat, maybe not so colorful. Like, tone it down. It's just a lot. And, like, that's, like, you need to be, like, for this role, like, all this stuff, right? Even though, like, I was fitting into the dress code, technically, right? So I was like, damn. So I remember I bleached my hair freaking blonde. I got all the blue out. I had, like, platinum blonde hair. I straightened it. And then I did, like, this little preppy hairstyle where it was, like, pinned at the top and then down in the back. And then I wore a blazer that was, like, long sleeves so I could cover my tattoos. And I had, like, a button up underneath and a pencil skirt. And I even wore heels. And I was like, who am I? Like, I remember I even posted a picture and put it on Instagram, like my old Instagram, where it's like me all like punk rock and stuff, and then me like all preppy and being like, what the hell? Like, this is so weird. And everyone just being like, this is so strange. Like, why did you have to dye your hair and do all this stuff just for it? But I like really wanted the job, so I did it. And it was so stupid because down the line it was like very encouraged for you to look however you wanted to. It was literally just my district manager putting like what she thought a manager should look like on me.
I've had that experience with other people who are also very close to me. Today is just a day where I'm not saying any names. Other people that are very close to me have told me like, oh, that I have to wear pantyhose, that I have to cover up my tattoos with makeup. Pantyhose. Yeah, to cover up my leg tattoos so that they don't like show under, like if I was to like move my leg a certain way. That I have to use like makeup or concealer to cover up any like tattoos that might peek out or anything. Just like really weird stuff that like I just don't like trying to be a teacher. Like I don't really see why it's like a big deal for a teacher to have tattoos or
you're a mentor and now they're gonna want to get tattoos and crazy hair because their teacher did.
But like thank God that a teacher would be an example of someone who's always maybe wanted to look alternative and they've never seen a leader in their life that actually looked alternative. Thank God that that student's gonna have that teacher. Like, that's how you should see it instead of seeing it as like, oh, no, they're going to influence it. It's like maybe there was a student who really needed someone to give them the permission, you know, by setting an example of like, you don't have to look like literally everyone else in order to do what you want to do or be who you want to be. And so I don't know, like but I definitely bought into it. Like I had this like Karen wig that I wore. It was like a blonde bob that I would wear anytime that I had any sort of interview or anything like that. And would even wear it like the first day in the classroom to make like an impression and like all this stuff. And it's like, what the hell?
Well, one cool thing though is like people have to start changing it because they can't find employees that aren't heavily tattooed or have alternative hair, because like now the generations coming in, like they're like, I've had tattoos since I was 15, and like they're very like pierced up and everything, and very like raised by millennials that are like, express yourself. Like,
Yeah, do what you want.
so the culture's changing, and even Disneyland had to change their dress code, and like they were one of the strictest places, like because they were trying to make sure like that every culture from around the world that comes to Disneyland wouldn't be offended, because it is a cultural thing too, where like some people think it's like you're definitely 100% like a drug dealer or a gangster if you have tattoos. So to keep it just very like blank, they're like, you can only have natural hair color tones, down to the kind of makeup you have on, the nail polish color. Any tattoos have to be covered with makeup. Like they're very, very strict, and now they're starting to loosen it up a bit. So you might see someone with like a little tattoo, or you might see someone a little more alternative, and you definitely would never see that at Disneyland again. But if they like upheld that, they would have no one to work.
Yeah, no, because it's, yeah, 100%. I totally agree with what you're saying.
And,
Yeah.
And now it's like, I think, yeah, before it was like, oh man, they're so punk rock, or oh man, yeah, they're definitely a gangster or criminal, or like all these things, like whatever it might be. And now it's like almost like, to be honest, it's almost cooler if you don't have a tattoo and you just look plain, because now it's just like the new norm is like, oh, of course, like oh, of course you have tattoos or you have colorful hair. It's like not, I feel like me, unless I'm just so like secluded because of like skate community and other communities, I'm sure, but like especially being in California, like almost everyone's alternative, so it's like, you know what I mean, like,
You
it's
know
just,
what? That is totally our bubble.
yeah, it's our bubble.
That is our
right?
bubble. Yeah, that's not real, because I teach a bunch of students in Orange County, and like I have like maybe 2 per class that's like kind of
Orange
alternative.
County.
But like, I mean, like that's not, I think LA is our bubble, right?
Yeah.
Long Beach is our bubble.
Yeah.
And LA, Long Beach are very different from like other parts of the United States, different to other parts of the world. Like, I think that we have like a culture here. And also I think we are very, without even intending to, we're just like very immersed in both gay culture and skate culture.
Whoop, whoop.
And which is fine. Like, I prefer it that way. But both of those cultures are very like DIY. They're more alternative. They're more like
Self-expression.
yeah. And like, if you don't like who I am, then fuck you. Like, that's very much how the cultures are. And so we're just like used to that, but not everyone is like that, unfortunately.
I know, that's true. We're extra AF, and never really realize it until you go to middle of nowhere and you look around and you're like, huh, why is everyone staring at me like that?
Honestly, I don't even realize that I'm extra until I think it's made it. I mean, we've definitely talked about this on the podcast before, but it's made it so much worse, like being at home all the time. Cause like I'll just go out, even with people that I know, and then I'll be like, oh, I'm like super dressed up and you're not. Oops.
We're annoying. This is why people hate us. I definitely don't think there's like as much taboo about getting tattooed. Like, more people are willing, especially to hide them. I definitely feel like the placement of tattoos, like more people are getting tattoos where other people can see them, and less tattoos that are hidden, because it almost is more of like an accessory or a work of art they want the world to see, rather than something that's just personal to them. And I think like back in the day, because there was like, oh, I can not get any kind of job, like even like a minimum wage job with tattoos. So it was like you kept everything that was just underneath, and it was like, oh, this is just for me anyways because I want it. And now as things are opening up, it is more of a, oh wait, tattoos can be just an art form that I'm sharing with the world, and like I'll just get like sleeves, chest piece, and like something, or, and it's like weird. It's like the opposite of what it was before, when it was like, oh, gotta be a secret, like a hush hush.
I also think that, and again, this could also be our bubble, but like, I know on my social medias, it's like all the sexy people have tattoos.
Oh my God.
Like, I feel like all the hot lesbians, like, I feel like they all have tattoos. I feel like all the hot bis, like all the hot gays, all the hot queers, like, I'm like, oh, you all have tattoos.
Oh my gosh. So I don't know if the camera caught it, but I yawned and that thing happened where like the corner, like where your jaw is, squirts out water like in sprays.
You gleated?
Yeah, that's what it's called. And I think it's like, I got so mad because I saw
Bleeding?
a thing that you could like train, like do it yourself. And then I couldn't figure it out. And I was so mad because I think it's one of those things that's just like so freaking weird when it happens. But how cool would it be to do it on command?
I had a friend growing up who could do it from under their tongue.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the crap?
Like miracles of the human body. But
What
anyways,
kind of magic?
it just happened. And if you witnessed it, you're welcome.
Anyways, so what made you, like, did you ever have a moment where you were like, oh shit, I shouldn't have gotten all these tattoos and had like colored hair? No.
Nope, never once. But I've always been kind of like, so being my own drum, like just do what I want as long as like I can. Like if I, like I remember working at Hollywood Park Casino and being like, I had blonde hair. I had like horrible bleached like blonde hair, but I didn't understand what toners were at the time, so it was kind of like yellowy blonde, white patches, and it was like totally breaking, but it was in my clip-in stage because I was like I was still like MySpace going into Tumblr scene queen, so like I had these super long platinum blonde pieces, like 22-inch, 18-inch, 20-inch. Like I tease it up, and I was like, I'm so seen, and I would go to work like that, and then like after like a month or so, one of the supervisors came up and was like, oh, you know, it's in the dress code that you have like natural hair color. And I was like, well, I was like, blonde is a natural hair color. And he's like, not for our people. And I looked at the other old lady. And the old lady that worked there, her name was Linda. And she had like yellowy blonde hair, and that was like her thing, and she teased it out really big like helmet hair. And I was like, she has blonde hair, and she's like, yeah, but it's not blonde like yours, because like mine was just too extra, right? So then I was like, all right, cool. So my asshole ass decides to dye my hair Sonic the Hedgehog blue, along with all of my pieces, my clip-ins, and I made my hair super obnoxiously scene queen. I went with my ripped t-shirt on, heavy like raccoon mascara and like eyeshadow, and I went in the next day because it was my day off, and I went to get my check, and I'm just like walk in, and my supervisor looks at me like, what the fuck? And I'm just like, hi, Keith. And then I get my check, I cash it at the little window, I walk around, I talk to like my coworkers and stuff, and then I prance my little happy ass out there. And then so the next day, because of course I'm not gonna lose my job over that, but like if someone's gonna make me dye my hair, I'm gonna be like, you know what, I should dye my hair something fun. Because I figured I'm not going to dye it black or brown, right?
Yeah, ew.
So I thought by being obnoxiously blonde, that was my way to express myself. It felt alternative, but wasn't a crazy color. So I thought. So I went to the swap meet and got like this wig. It was my first wig I ever got.
Aww.
That's what started it all. And it was super preppy. It was like a brunette. It was long and curly. And I did a little updo in it. And then so I put my uniform on. I go to work. I'm sitting in the deli. And all of a sudden, here comes the supervisor, like power walking at me with her radio. And then she goes, huh? And I was like, what? She's all, Keith told me you had bright blue hair, and he told me to come over here and tell you that he told you not to dye your hair.
What a cunt.
Blah, blah. So that I needed to come over here and see if you had blue hair so I could let him know so he could write you up. And
What
I
the
said,
hell?
well, you could tell Keith that I know what a wig is and that my hair's my hair, and I'll keep it whatever color I want.
Seriously, what the hell, Keith?
And she just laughed. Oh my God. And Keith looked like if Cat Williams and Prince had a baby.
Oh.
Yeah. And he was very short. I think he had short man's complex. And yeah, he was always a pain in my arse. And I remember I even had like drawings of me, like my sketchbook. And I was like, I hate you, like drawing him, like dying. He was the worst. He was the worst. I just got so triggered thinking about him. But yeah, that was like my first, like, I hate you. He also was one of those bosses that like I got a review. And since my dad was like head in the department, but he wasn't even my boss, he was just in the same department. Like, he was like, you were going to get 100 on your review, but I took you to 98 because your Chef Charles's daughter, and I thought it wouldn't be fair. And I was like, one, who else would know what my score is? And two, like, you deducted me points just because you were afraid of what people thought. That was another strike. But yeah, anyways, enough about Keith. That was the one time that I was like, I'm going to be kind of a rebel, but not really.
I mean, I feel like I just decided one day, like, I'm fed up with this. It was years and years of me feeling like I wanted to do things, like I wanted to get more tattoos. I wanted to dye my hair. I wanted to cut my hair. I wanted to get all these piercings. Felt like I couldn't. And then one day I just snapped. Like, I was just like, I will no longer take any jobs that say that I can't be myself completely and entirely. Like, I want to feel free to not have any piercings in, and I want to feel completely free to have all my piercings in, have my hair wild, and then also to have, you know, tattoos. And it was like this big thing too, because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to get hired as a full-time teacher if I like look super alternative. And because the field is so competitive, they can afford to like not judge on that, but like judge on that, you know what I mean? So I just decided, like, fuck it, like I'm never gonna get this teaching job anyway, so I may as well just like do what I want. So now I do what I want.
Yeah.
And I got a hand tattoo because fuck it. And it's the happiest tattoo. I fucking love it. It makes me feel so good about myself. Every time I see it, I'm like, hell yeah, my hand is sexy.
And I pretend I don't see it.
I love it. If you haven't seen it and you're watching the video, it is a flower on my hand, and I love it. And I'm going to get more hand tattoos because I love them.
How many hands do you have? Dang.
No, I'm going to get finger tattoos. You knew that. We talked about that.
Yeah.
You have finger tattoos. You can't be like, don't get finger tattoos.
One that you can't even see because it's under a ring, and the other one is like the teeniest, tiniest thing that people don't even know. It's fine. Like, I'm not judging. It's just Rebel gets like, you don't think it's hot, then I'm not gonna do it. And I'm like, so just because I'm not attracted to it doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. It's your body. And she's like, but I want you to be attracted to me. And I'm like, but that shouldn't stop you.
I don't know.
Like, do you, boo boo, babe? Whatever makes you happy, I support you.
Yeah. I still want you to think I'm cute, though.
You are cute.
Even this hand.
Put on a glove.
Yeah. Anyways, do you have anything else to say about the real world?
No, I hate the real world. I'd rather live in fantasy land.
All right, then let's go to the real world.
The real world is where we talk about all things roller skate. Yeah.
And Chev went on a really cool roller skating trip this last weekend. Where'd you go, babe? And tell us about it.
2 weekends ago.
Oh, whoa. Feels like it was this last weekend.
Yeah, so like 2 weekends ago, I went to Miami, the one in Florida, of course. So I went to Florida, and it's so funny because, side note, I see you on Reddit that you also listen to this podcast, and you're like, Chev said she didn't want to go to Miami, and they made her. No. I was saying I didn't want to go to Florida because, you know, all the Republicans and guns, and like their COVID's not real. Of the like majority, not everyone out there. And But yeah, so go ahead and misquote me when you listen to my podcast. That's okay. But I had so much fun. I don't like before trips. I get very like, oh no, and it's because I'm anxious about like flying and going to places where I don't really know what's going on. Do you not know me? Obviously, if you're on this episode, you should know me by now. But anyways, keep posting on Reddit and pretending like the people you talk about aren't like literally reading at it because we're also roller skaters. Obviously, I think it's so funny. I've called y'all out on this before, but it's okay. Reddit is a beautiful trash fire, and if it helps you, it helps you. But if you're on there to be like, this is tabloids, you might need a better hobby, and you can quote me on that and put it in the Reddit group. But anyways, love you. Let's jump right into our Miami trip. So the Miami trip was this awesome thing with this new company called Lazo that is a sister company for Moxie, and we just want to help like bring the stoke of skating to everyone. And it's really funny because people are just like, what is it? I'm like, I don't know. It's like fun skate stuff. Like, who cares? Like, everyone takes things so seriously. But it was really cool. The point of this trip was to like see how the other side of the country skates and like what their community's like. And I think that's one of the coolest things, and what I really want to travel with my skates is to meet people, because in the internet we can just be like keyboard warriors, or like we're really shy, or we can be like super friendly and then we're like the opposite in person. And it's because the internet's just not real. It's just whatever we want like people to see or not see. And in person, you really get to know those people and then find out like, oh crap, like I thought you were one thing, but you're something else. Like I thought we didn't really get along online, but then in person, like you're my new bestie and I'm going to all these skate dates with you. So like, it's cool to have internet friends, but like when you meet skaters in person, you're just like, wow, like I am vibing. The whole vibe's cool. And that was Miami. Like Miami skaters are so dope, and they weren't all from Miami. A lot of people were like 2 hours, 4 hours away, and they drove in. So that was cool. But yeah, it was a long weekend of skating. It was really draining, but it was draining because it was so rewarding that like I was just like, oh my God, I'm an introvert. I can't do this anymore.
Yeah. I mean, even you were telling me about like the different things you did, and I was like, holy crap. You did so many things in one day. That's insane. I'm tired just listening to you talk about it.
Yeah, when we had, there was a rollout, and I can't believe finding out that the whole rollout was like 20-something miles.
Insane.
Which Long Beach would never.
Long Beach would literally
That's called
never.
The LA Marathon. But
it happens once a year.
When I showed up to the meetup spot, which I almost didn't make it to because my anxiety was so high, I got there and I sat to the side, and there was this beautiful like art installation, and they had like the sound of like water, and it was like bubbles, and it was supposed to be like if you were like in a, I don't know, like a fish tank or something. And I was like, okay, I'll just sit here aside from the like skaters that are starting to show up and like, you know, do my little meditation, my little breathing exercises, calm down a little bit. But I kept spinning out. And then like Estro popped up and was just, hey, Shav, like, are you okay? And you know how like when you're like not okay and someone asks you if you're okay, I just full on started crying. And I was like, I am not okay. I don't know what's going on. And they were like, you don't have to be here. Like, if you want to go back to the Airbnb, you can. If you want to go to our friend's hotel, like, I can let them know. Like, you don't have to do this. And I was like, I know. I just, like, want to try. Like, it sounds really fun. Like, I just want to give it a go. But, like, I definitely did not feel right in my body. So I ended up, like, skating, though, because I was, like, talking to people. The more I talked to people, and I was, like, pulled me out of it. And I was like, all right, I got this. And there was like some skaters that were just like, oh my God, like it's Rebel here. And I was like, she's not, I wish. But like so many people were asking about her. And it was not an easy skate from the get-go. Like the streets were kind of smooth, but then it was like this brick road. Like not even just like just a little bit. It was like a full freaking thing.
Sounds terrible.
And I went skirt. Nope. Like literally my brake pedals were like skirt. And I was like, And I literally stood there just like, And then like I literally must have disassociated because all of a sudden everyone was gone. And then the cars started coming and I was just like, oh, I'm stuck on this weird side of a brick road, but in the divider, the center divider.
Oh, weird.
And then cars are going, but luckily there's traffic. And I was just like, and I didn't tell you this part. So then I think I met a politician.
What?
And I'm not going to say it was Andrew Yang because he looked younger than Andrew Yang, but this fool looked like Andrew Yang. So I am like standing there and I'm like, you got this. Like, well, whatever I will tell you what to do. I should tell you just go. You just got to do it. Blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, you can't do it. Like, I'm just freaking, when your mind starts spinning out. And then all of a sudden, like, I hear zzz, like someone's window and it's this like classy black car. And it's this like very attractive, like cheesy smile, like Asian man in like a nice suit. And like white shirt and a tie,
what?
right?
This is so fun.
And he's all like, hey, I got news for you. And I thought, oh, here we go. It's going to be some fucking fat phobic or pervert stuff, right? He says, you're the best dressed person I've seen all day. And I was like, oh, thanks. He's all, you're welcome. And then he's like, puts the window up. And I was like, that was random. So they go. And then I'm like, okay, you do this.
I love that.
So I skate super fast. And then I'm like, I get up to this hill, which is also brick, and I'm like, dang, what the heck? I can't get a break now going uphill on this rough terrain. And I'm like, I don't know which way they went. There's like one thing that goes downhill. There's one that goes up. It looks like a bridge, but it's dark outside because it's a night skate. And then it looks like there might also be some sort of club there because now it's forming a line of bougie rich people that are very well dressed because it's all also art based. And I'm like, I'm in a sky blue moxie romper with sky blue braids and roller skates. And my phone's at 9%. I don't know where anyone is.
Not an ideal situation.
Yeah, so then I was like, so you have some options. You could just bail. You could try to get a Uber, or you could just sit here and try to figure it out. So I'm like, I'll just sit down. And the line's getting longer and longer. And I'm like, this is getting awkward. People are staring at me. And then all of a sudden I hear, I found my masterpiece. And I'm like, look up. It's the Asian guy.
No.
This guy has an American flag pin on his
that makes me think
politician.
He's a politician.
No
sure.
one else wears an American flag on their freaking jacket. And he had that smile that all politicians have. Doesn't matter what their background is, what ethnicity. Politicians all have that same smile and sparkle in their eye, and that's how they get voted for. They have a look, unless we're not even going to say his name. He wasn't even a real politician, but he was voted in to be one, and that was trash. Not a sparkle in an eye, not a good smile. Anyways, so then he's like, how are you? I was like, oh my God, good. And he's all like, this might be weird, but you mind can I take a picture with you? I would love to take a picture with you. Like, you are literally the most fascinating person I've seen. Like, you're very, like, your style is just so unique. And I was like, yeah, sure. And we took like a picture together. And this like woman that was with him, like had her like little Hillary Clinton like outfit on, like took the picture for him. So I swear to God, there's some random picture of me out there with some random politician existing. That's what I've built up my reality. But that was like one of the biggest things I forgot to tell you that happened out there. And then I took an Uber back to Airbnb.
I can't believe you forgot to tell me that. That is like a big, important news.
Yeah, it was
What
crazy.
if you're like one of the campaign issues that someone is
like
using
his name?
to vote
He
for?
knows the people. He
And then it's
knows
like a
roller
picture.
skaters.
It's like a picture.
He found a fat, black, queer, tattooed person in roller skates, and they're friends. See how inclusive he is? Vote for him. That'd be hilarious.
If he has Shove's vote, he should have yours too.
I don't know. I'm just gonna say he's too cool. I'd vote for him, and I don't even know what he stands for. But anyways, Miami vibe as just a place wasn't my favorite. It was beautiful, and there was art everywhere. And I feel like if I would have not had just back-to-back skating stuff like and work stuff to do, I would have fully enjoyed it. But it felt also the dark side was like, especially the like Miami Beach part was like, I don't do well around rich people. And like, especially like born into money rich people.
Yeah, they have a different vibe.
Yeah, so like ritzy hotels, Ferraris everywhere, like literally people just being so fucking rude and entitled and not moving out of the way and just like, so annoying. The people drive crazy out there, but I still skated in the streets.
Terrifying.
Yeah, but it was a little terrifying, but it was like being a video game. Roller skate community. I feel like they have more opportunities to gather together. I heard a lot of skaters say like, man, we need to do this like more often. Like we're never all in one spot. We never meet up at the same time. So like I'm hoping that if we left something behind, it's that more of the skaters are going to want to host their own meetups together to have things with like
love that.
Yeah, because we went like to outdoor roller rink where they were doing like a fundraiser, and then we went to do a skate clinic at Lot 11, or not Lot 11, to the drop-in. We went to Lot 11 and skated that. I skated the mini over there. Went to the Orange Pills to watch like the street skaters do their thing. I know T-Stacks went to another rink, like an indoor rink, like an hour away. We did a street skate in like the morning one day. It was just like so much stuff.
So many things.
It was back to back to back. And like every skater I met was just like so down to earth, so awesome. Shout out to, I can't remember your name, but you gave me a shot of whiskey, and that's how I know we were soulmates, because you were like, how'd you know Jameson? You just knew. I tried a coqueta for the first time. Amazing.
Do you mean coquito?
No, it was a coqueta. It was like a little, it looks like a mozzarella stick, but it's like chubbier. Yeah. And then we went to like an Australian. Wow. We went to a human restaurant the last night, and the food was so good. But yeah, everything was super awesome and made me really want to like travel other places, which I know I've said before, but like getting to actually do it was just like reinforcement and like being like, must travel.
I'm so jealous. I want to travel so bad.
Also, there were a lot of jellyfish in the water.
Well, then fuck that. I don't want to travel.
But
anymore.
I didn't get stung, and it was worth it.
Nice.
It was just like swimming. Watching. I was like, yeah, on the man-made beaches, because apparently most of the beaches in Florida aren't real.
That's hilarious.
Still beautiful though. So when it comes to traveling, like, where do you want to travel to?
I want to go to Ireland.
Okay, what about like in the States?
I also want to go to Amsterdam.
No, in the States, babe.
I want to go to St. Louis. I want to go skating in that skate park church. And I want to go to Chicago. And I want to go to all the skate parks in Colorado. And I want to go to the rinks in Atlanta. And I want to go to the rinks in Ohio. And I want to go to the rinks in Texas.
If you go to Cascade, I fear for you.
I've been to Cascade before.
And what happened to you?
I just skated.
They let you skate? You were there at nighttime?
Yeah, I was there at nighttime.
And
it was packed.
No one knocked you over or anything?
No, because I'm still a good skater. Like I wasn't trying to like own the space. I was literally just skating.
No, I know. I just heard some horror stories. Like,
no, yeah. I was only there for like an hour, and it was early nighttime. Like it was probably like 9, you know, like it wasn't like the late time. But yeah, I went by myself, I think, actually, because I was like, I'm here. I was there for a tournament.
Oh, yeah.
And it was when it wasn't like I wasn't super into rinks or anything like that yet. So I didn't know where I was. I did not understand. And I want to go back because I had no not that I didn't respect the place that I was at, but I didn't have any sense of like the history that was there. I just was like, this is awesome. It wasn't like, this is awesome.
Yeah, if I went to Cascade, I would like not even bring my skates. I would just sit there and watch. I'd be like, I'm here to watch.
Yeah, well, it wasn't like, I mean, there were people in the middle, but it was so packed. Like,
yeah, it's insanity.
It was so packed that it was only like just a little bit of skating. Like, that was all you could really do. It was the most packed rink I've ever been to in my entire life. Yeah, but I didn't know what that was at the time. It was probably like maybe my third rink that I had been to since I started skating. So it was like very uncharted territory for me. So I was just like, this is great. Like,
I want to go to Chicago to skate with Jessica Catastrophe and Ghoulie. And I guess we're going to Arizona.
Yeah.
We could bug Heather.
Yeah, I don't wanna bother Heather.
Definitely not in the summer. And
yeah,
I know a lot of people in Texas want us to go. And like, I have mixed feelings because I think I have as
also
many
a lot of people that don't like
haters
us
as I
Texas.
have fans.
I want to skate at the Bay Area really badly.
Yeah, I want to skate with the concrete slits.
Yeah, because when we went up there is when I got all fucked up, and that's why we didn't really get to do the whole skating thing. Oh my God, I really want to have, we were planning to have a skate adventure in Vegas. I really want to do a skate adventure in Vegas. That's going to happen for sure.
Yeah, we've always made the mistake of going to Vegas when it's way too hot. So it's like, we never make the skate parks for sure.
So now we're gonna. And then, yeah, there's so many places. I really want to go to Portland. Traveling is my life, and I literally haven't traveled, and I just feel like a big chunk of me is missing. And I know that sounds kind of wild, but like,
I know I got on a plane before you.
Yeah, and it's just like I've had a couple opportunities, but I've been doing other jobs or whatever. So I just haven't really had the actual opportunity to travel. So I really miss it. Even if it's for like a freaking like tournament, like for one weekend, like I just want to go somewhere.
Well, we're going to Bali next summer.
Yeah, but that's too long. Like
sometimes I forget.
I keep forgetting too. We need to buy tickets. But I need to go travel this next month. Like that's how I must for the sake of my sanity. January must involve travel for Rebel.
Oh, Lord. What's next? Let's get out of here.
It's Find Your Skate Date.
Find your skate date. We actually got one?
Yeah.
Wow.
Find Your Skate Date is where you send in your bio, your little info about you, where you're located, your pronouns, a little pic, and then we talk about you and we tell all the people about how great you are, and then you find a skate date.
Oh my God. We actually get to be independent for once in our miserable lives. You know why?
Why?
Because it starts off, Dear Shove and Rebel.
Wait, what? Amazing.
Shovel's dead.
You wish.
Dear Shove and Rebel, my name is Abby, and I am a Boston skater, and my pronouns are they, them.
Sup, Abby?
Winter is coming in Boston. Sorry, Game of Thrones. Winter is coming in Boston, and I want to connect with other people skating for their serotonin. I would love to connect to other Boston skaters in real life and with other cold weather skaters virtually. I am also an artist and love the artist/skater crossover. My IG is at lavender_menace_press. If you are interested, my cat's IG, is
I am the great Norma Desmond.
Thank you. She's not a skater, but she loves snugging. Not snuggling, but snugging skaters. I like to snug Rebel.
I love it when you snug me.
Well, Boston skaters, I know you're out there.
We know you're out there, Boston skaters.
Yo,
Another place that
Hazley.
we need to go skate at.
Yeah. There definitely are skaters there. There is a CIB chapter out there, so there's definitely skaters there. Yeah, so if you're listening, Bostonians,
Hit Abby up.
Bostillans,
It's your time. Bostonians. People of Boston.
Bostonites.
Bostonians.
Yeah, that. please hit up Abby. They sound awesome.
Yeah.
Give them a follow. Chat it up. Winter is coming, and in this garage, it is in the here and now.
For real. If you want us to read your Dear Skate Date and talk about you, just send an email to dearskatedate@gmail.com, and we will read your bio and talk about you and find your skate date. Let's move on to Dear Shovel. What's Dear Shovel?
Dear Shovel is an unfortunate place where unfortunate souls write in, bewildered and lost, looking for wisdom. Yet,
Poor unfortunate soul.
that they obviously took a wrong turn and got even into more shit because they decided to ask Shovel.
Do we help them? Yes, indeed. In our best way.
Yeah, best way. Let's see what we could do.
Dear Shovel, most of the skate places are open after 8, but I am a morning person. Help!
You're a morning person? Who's a morning person?
I wish I was a morning person.
Your first problem is you're a morning person.
Aww. No, they are the golden standard. I wish I could. I cannot. I struggle so hard.
I always want to be a morning person, but I also love staying up super late doing absolutely nothing and just, except like pondering my fate.
I feel the most productive that I ever feel like hella late at night. Like
But you weren't always like that. It just like happened.
No, I learned why.
Why?
It's because of something that has to do with ADHD. So because all day long I feel like there are different I want to say triggers, but that's not the correct wording. Like different flags that are like grabbing my attention, right? They're like different attention demanding requirements, like tasks, emails, people who are awake expecting you to do things, whether it be personal, social, or like work-based. But in the middle of the night, everyone expects that you're sleeping. So there's nothing like telling you to do anything else. Like the only thing that's telling you to do anything is your body being like, you should be sleeping. But other than that, it's like nothing. So it's like your body is free. It's like the only time when I feel free to literally do whatever I want to do. It's amazing. But then I end up not sleeping. So it's not amazing. But that's okay. Anyways.
We got off topic.
We didn't answer the question.
Okay, so I don't know. Like, is 8 too late? Like, what time do you go to bed is what I'm wondering.
I think that's got to be it. I think that 8 is too late because I think they want to skate in the morning.
I'm assuming you live somewhere where you can't skate like at a tennis court or anything. Because sometimes, you just bring your own speaker and have your own party.
Yeah, I think that it's time for you to DIY some places. So check out tennis courts. And it's also hard because we don't know what kind of skating you like to do. Like, I don't know if you're a skate park person or like a rink kind of a person or a cruising kind of a person. But cruising, definitely like doing a riverbed trail or like skating in like a pretty location or even like in a neighborhood, I feel like is actually really cool hella early in the morning because no one's around. And I feel like you actually have access to lots of different locations. So I think if you haven't started branching out into just like pretty locations, you should start doing that. Like find some pretty locations and go there.
Yeah, because I don't like rinks because they make sense, I guess, if you're like, I want to like work on my dance moves with other people. But like if you're not into dancing, it's boring. I'm sorry, I'm just going to say it. How many times you just skate in a circle? How many times? How many times? When they do games, I'm like, all right, cool. There's something to do now. But for me, I always think like, this is going to be fun. And then by like the third turn, I'm like, So like I want to see the world. Like I want to be out there. I want to feel the wind on my face. I want to like be like, ooh, what's that? Ooh, what's that? Look at the sky. Like look at that car. Look at that person. Look at that other roller skater. And I feel like I don't get any kind of serotonin from being at the rink that lasts over the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's definitely crazy because whenever I'm at the rink, it's like I'm not even concentrated on the fact that I'm going in a circle because I'm so concentrated on like what I'm trying to learn how to do. Like every single time I'm at the rink, I have something that I'm like working on, that I'm focusing on. And so I'm not even thinking about the fact that I'm going in a circle. I'm just thinking like, okay, can I get this 360? Can I get this 360?
Yeah, but if you're not like,
but if you're not interested in that or
like
working on that,
most
like,
of the people you see are just skating in a circle.
are you sure that they're not like in their head like working on something?
They're skating in a circle.
Oh, I always imagined that everyone was like working on something.
No, trust me, because I'm trying to go fast because then I'm like, well, I'll work on like, you know, juking and just like finding holes and going fast. And I'm like, everyone's skating slow, going in a circle. And I'm like, is this what you're doing for fun? Because if I was just trying to like skate to skate, again, I would want to do that outside. It's not always just like people that are like in rental skates, because like that would totally be it. Like, oh, this is my only chance to learn because I don't have my own skates. It'll be people that have their own skates. But I'm just saying, like, I know there's that fear of like being a concrete surfer because it's like, oh, the floor is.
Yeah, I was gonna
so
say
smooth.
the rink is safe. It's a safe space to like begin learning how to skate because there's not like unexpected cracks or unexpected rocks or
But
like
I know
that kind of stuff.
more people that have broken things in a rink than have broken it, like just skating on flat ground.
I'm not saying that it's actually safer. I'm saying that the perception is that it's safer because there's not any of those like
I know
external
factors. I'm just
factors.
saying it for the people.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
Because like think about it. I bet when you're like, oh, I'm going somewhere outside and you put full gear on, but then you go to the rink and you're not wearing any gear.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like we have this weird thing of like, oh, it's polished softwood and floor. And it's like, it's like this weird illusion thing of like what's safe and what isn't, but it's all kind of the same thing. Sometimes the rink can be more scary because there's like kids just darting or stopping or falling like out of nowhere.
Yep. Dragging you down.
But yeah, you can kind of create your own rink. They do it like in Venice all the time. They do it in parts of Long Beach, like in some tennis courts. Like bring the right music, the right friends, and you can just have a good time. Like tennis courts usually are pretty smooth, but I know not everyone has access to them. If I had more information, if this was a longer question, I could give better advice. So I'm just rambling off some things.
Yeah.
People are going to be really mad at me after this episode. First, I just read it. Then I was like, I don't like rinks. I'm bored.
But like, you know, like not everyone likes rinks and not everyone likes skate parks and not everyone likes trail skating. It's just like a personal preference thing. And one of them is not better than the other, you know?
Oh my God. I want to do a trail skate in like Portland, like in Oregon or something. Like I want, like, who is it? There's this skater who also does hair. She's friends with Liv. She lives like in Oregon, maybe Portland. And like there's this trail, like it's like a nature trail, and it just looks so pretty, especially in the fall.
That sounds amazing.
And like just the idea of like skating in that kind of nature, because we don't have that here in California. I'm always jealous of like when I see people in like the Midwest or like and it's just like, or the Northwest. It's just like so beautiful. I think that when I hear trail skating, that's what I would want to do. Because for us, we're like trail skating. It's the freaking LA River, which isn't even a real river. It's a freaking canal. And we're like, I'm trail skating.
Yeah, I've skated some really pretty places at like, I think actually in Florida were a couple of the really, really pretty
they have
places
some nice
that
ones too.
I skated, especially like their colleges there, which is where I'm working when I travel, is like just so beautiful. And like you can skate around the campus and, well, I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to, but like you can skate around the campus and then it's
I
just
met
like
a skater that does
trees
that.
and like it's so beautiful and stunning and everything like that. But yeah. So, I mean, I guess if you're a morning person, I'm not saying if you're a skate park skater to break into skate parks, but I know a lot of people who do. And I would say more than anything, DIY your skate experience. All right. Well, that about wraps up our podcast for today.
It's a wrap.
We love you very much. Thank you for listening. We've got one more episode after this for the year before we take our little 2-week break.
God.
And we're going to sit together and kind of brainstorm ways that we can
Be better
as a podcast, and also just like tie in some ideas that y'all have brought to the table. I've been asking for some ideas on the Skate Date Instagram, and we've obviously thought of some ideas. So we're gonna work on a new strategy moving forward for like how we want to continue to approach the podcast.
Season 3,
crazy. And then, so if you like us, you want us to continue, or you have some ideas, we would love to hear your ideas. If you want to email us, you can. It's skatedatepodcast@gmail.com. If you want to rate our podcast on any of the podcast apps that you have, we would definitely appreciate that. If you want to go on YouTube, you could subscribe. You could like and comment and share our podcast there.
Oh my gosh. How many more things are on here?
Well, you can also get a Skate Date Pod sticker to support our podcast, or you could buy and support from me and Chef's shop. So www.cheerstothequeers.com and Fat Femme Fatale shop. That's it. That's all I got.
Cool. Okay, we love you all. Sorry, this episode was like random. We're really tired. So if you made it this far, you weird like us, and we like your weird. You like our weird, and let's be weird together forever on our skate date. And we'll see you next Wednesday.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.